I've been given 10 minutes, so I really do need to get on. And 10 minutes is not a lot of time to talk to everyone about some of the incredible things we've been adding to our product. So I don't have time to talk about the internationalization we've added to our browser and the multiple languages like Russian, Chinese, Korean, German that are all part of our browser. I can't talk about the accessibility certification we just recertified against WCAG 2.1 AA. That's more of a mouthful than the presentation of this title of this presentation. I can't talk about the sounds that we've added to Notification Center, or the fact that we're now live in the Salesforce App Exchange, or the ServiceNow App Store, or that Microsoft 365 is embedded into Workspace through 3 lines of code. You can search for your contacts, your teams, your documents, and take action on them. No time for all that. So I've had to try and boil this down to some really key, exciting things that we've done. Snap SDK is the first thing I want to talk about. This was something that we launched in late fall of last year, and it's something we've been asked about a lot over the years. This allows any window on the desktop to be snapped together and used as a single group. So as a user, I can take 2 OpenFin windows, drag them over each other, form a group, minimize them, bring them back, move them across my monitors as a single unit. But it's not just OpenFin windows. If I have a proprietary application that I've built in-house, and I've got this application and it's talking to OpenFin apps over Interop, I can snap them together now and use them as a single group. But not even just proprietary applications, it's also Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word. Any window on your desktop can participate in snapping. It's really easy to use as a user, but under the hood, there's powerful APIs for developers to programmatically snap things together, to observe all the events, know what's snapped together, and launch things. So really powerful, and you're going to see more of that in action through the evening. Our Workspace browser has had a real supercharge to it. So our Workspace browser, if you think of a consumer browser where you've got a bunch of tabs and each tab is a web page and you can flip between them and it's pretty seamless. Our Workspace browser, every piece of content that you see in this window is a separate web application. It's a separate URL. It's a separate thing that you would normally use in a top-level tab in something like Chrome. We've completely rebuilt our page swapping mechanism from the ground up to achieve this seamless switching between apps. It sounds subtle, but when you're using the browser, it now gives you the same level of experience as using something like Chrome or Edge or Safari. So we're pretty proud of the work we've done under the hood to achieve that. Underpinning everything we do is our container product. When we launched Workspace around 3 years ago now, quite a few of our clients were asking us, well, does this mean it's the end of the container? Are you guys just focusing on Workspace now? And we've said time and time again that that's absolutely not the case, and I'd like to think we've proven that over the last few years. We continually add capabilities to the container, and this is where our security really comes from as well. In the last year, we've had 9 releases dedicated to purely addressing underlying critical vulnerabilities and exposures in the Chromium engine. When Google patched those, we have a new version of OpenFin available within days and can be deployed to the desktop within hours. Just this week, I believe, we made a major improvement to our more granular controls in security. So inside OpenFin, you can now lock down to individual URLs and say what permissions that single URL are right up to domain level. Super flexible. You can even hold back injection of the Fin API entirely from the applications. That's about as techie as I get in this chat. We've added things like throttling. It's still kind of techie, I guess. Web browsers are designed to shut down your processes so that Facebook doesn't consume all of your battery and CPU when you're not looking at it. In a financial desktop, you don't want that. So embedded inside of our browser, you can now control the throttling of your views so that they stay alive, your prices are live and instant, and there's no lag to the user. You can plug in your custom USB keyboards now. If you've got trader keyboards, you can interface directly with them from your JavaScript applications. There's a download manager in the container, And you can create custom protocol handlers to create short links to your apps to send over Messenger or email to your colleagues. It's a much longer list of container things, but hopefully you get the idea in continual improvement under the hood. Now, as Mazzy mentioned, one of the big things that we've released recently is this concept of OpenFin anywhere. The desktop is the most powerful environment. That's where a lot of the things I just mentioned, like control over processes, multi-monitor support, these super powerful layouts containing different applications with interoperability, all of that's possible in the desktop. But we recognize that the content, those apps running inside the desktop, need to be accessed outside of the desktop. Many of our customers build a web portal or they build a mobile app, and they have to re-implement key parts of OpenFin to achieve that, which means you're building abstraction layers, you're duplicating effort. So we have released OpenFin layouts for use inside web applications and tablets. We have released interoperability so that your applications can still talk to each other. Over the course of the year, we'll be bringing more of the workspace UI components like Notification Center to be used inside web applications. That means you can start to achieve things like this, where you've got your applications in a web browser or indeed a PWA. So let's just take a quick look at what this looks like. So what we're looking at here is the OpenFin desktop, the workspace browser window, many applications inside a single window, built by different teams, deployed at different times, brought together to feel like one thing. As a user, I can flip between different sets of content, and all my apps are connected through interoperability. As I select an instrument, the rest of the applications are updating. We want that content to become portable. I want to be able to go to my web browser, Safari in this example, and I want to load up a web application that I've built that shows the same content. These applications that you see here are the exact same ones that we just saw running on the desktop. They're using an OpenFin layout. They're using interoperability and FDC3 to stay connected. Because we're using web technologies to achieve this, and these applications are now portable between the OpenFin container and web, that means that this web application can also be bundled as a progressive web application and deployed onto tablets. This is an example of an iPad where a PWA has been installed onto it. And guess what you're going to see when we run that? You're going to see those exact same applications loaded in an OpenFin layout. These layouts are portable between the desktop and the tablet, and they're interoping together. This content is now portable across desktop, web, and mobile devices. Now, having an interop broker in each one of those devices is great. It means I can use my tablet, I can look at things on my commute on the way to the office. But what if I want my journey to continue back to the desktop? Here's a desktop, the tablet, and a web browser. With Cloud Interop, your devices are connected. As I interact with my desktop, my tablet can live update, as can the web browser. When I interact with the browser, the desktop and the tablet are updating. All of these interop brokers in each one of these devices are connected to our new Cloud Interop service and allows seamless workflows across devices. But why stop there? Here's an example of a VDI, an AWS workspace running a WinForm native application. This native application running on a completely separate machine is also connected to the Cloud Interop service, and as a user, all of the applications I'm using and all of the devices I'm using are connected, and my workflows are seamless across them. Everything I've talked about here is available today. We'll be up at the booth. You can come ask us questions about how it all works and how to get your hands on it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the content this evening. We've got some great speakers lined up for you, and thank you for listening to me. Thanks.